Monday was Labor Day, which is a holiday in the US, which is where I live. And it is also the day that I ended up starting my menstrual cycle. I'm so sorry if that is TMI, but this is my health planner and that is a part of this. But usually when I start off, I will update everything in the beginning of my book. So any trackers I have in the front, and then I'll work my way through my tabs until I get to my weekly section. In the monthly section, I update my weight by week. So every week on usually Monday morning, I will weigh myself and just record that. I don't have any goals in terms of that. I just like to track it because it's kind of interesting information to me. Maybe someday I will use it as a tool to either undergo some kind of weight loss or something like that. But for now, it's just something that I like to keep track of myself. When I move on into the weekly pages, I update pretty much everything I've eaten for the day. And Monday, since it was a holiday, we had burgers and fries. And then for dinner, we ended up having this awesome club salad that I made. It had ham and turkey and this hatch chili like chip thing. It was really delicious and we ate a lot of it. And by we, I mean me and my partner since we live together. The next section I update on my weeklies is my workout and meditation. So on the far left side of the page, I have two skinny lines. One is for workouts and one is for meditation. I actually did work out on Monday. I just did it after I recorded this, so I didn't write it down at that time. But you'll see later on, I go back and I edit what I had written there originally. I also have a check-in section where I write out a little blurb from the day, and Monday being that it was a holiday was pretty productive for me actually, so I was really happy with that. And then I just update my routines and my fasting, which is pretty fast since it's just a couple of dots. Then I flip through my next tab in my planner, which is where I keep my monthly tracker. So this is where I track my sleep, mood, and stress, my menstrual cycle, any notes I have about my health for the day, which is usually pretty minimal, and then anything I want to track at the bottom, which is usually food groups right now. I actually have been enjoying tracking how much sugar, or when I eat sugar, I guess, vegetables, fruits, things like that. But I also like to track here where I drink caffeine, so either tea or coffee or both. If I drink all of my water, if I do any kind of meditation or exercise. It's just kind of a fun way for me to look at my personal data in a table format. I definitely love data, so if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll probably notice that I track a lot of things for various reasons that are just kind of fun for me. The next section in this planner that I always update is my workout section. Again, I did work out on Monday, but I didn't update this because it happened after I filmed this portion of the video. But I did go ahead and flip it to the September portion because we are now in September, which is still wild to me. I also have a running tracker or log in this book, and then also a show and movie log in this book, but I didn't watch or run on Monday, so I didn't have anything to update there. And then I have not started a new book yet. I'm still reading the Outlander series, and I am on book 2. Tuesday is when I decided to go ahead and update the front portions of my book. So I usually like to use these Zig Clean color dot markers to denote when my period starts, if I have a date night, vacation, appointments, paydays, anything like that on the year to glance pages. And then I also use those same markers in the Calendex pages. Here I updated my system from the beginning of the year to just have 3 colors. It makes it a lot more simple, easy to fill out, and I don't feel pressure to write down my steps every single day, or I feel pressure to wear a watch, which since I'm home all the time, I can usually see what time it is without having to wear a watch. Tuesday's meals consisted very similarly to Monday's. We pretty much ate almost the same thing, I think. I remember eating salad, but I don't know if I wrote down salad, which is another kind of funny portion of the weekly section of this book. Is the meals are kind of accurate, but not 100%. And that is one thing I do want to say. If you do like to track your meals, if you want to be exact about it, that is totally fine with you. For me, this is just kind of a glimpse at what I may have eaten that day, and how I was feeling. So if I ever look back at this book, I can see, okay, I was eating a lot of vegetables this week. No wonder I was being really productive and having a good week, versus previous weeks where I would be eating, like, let's say a lot of fast food or a lot of potatoes, like fried stuff, and I was feeling really down and depressed. Maybe I could correlate those food habits to those emotions, which I do have a degree in nutrition, so psychology and nutrition do go hand in hand. I'm not, going to give any free advice here or anything like that, but just know that your eating habits do say a lot about you and can affect your mood in certain ways, and you should definitely seek out a health practitioner if you need help with that sort of thing. I also continue to update my routine and my fasting time. I've been tracking my fasting time after reading a book. I've been tracking it before I read the book, but I tried to be a little bit more diligent about it now after reading the book, which is Fast Like a Girl by Dr. Mindy Pelz. It's a very interesting read if you want to read it. I've talked about it in some previous videos with my health planner. I think it's a very interesting concept of how fasting times can correlate to hormones and overall like health in general. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. And if you want to read it, go ahead and pick up a copy. Moving on into my habit monthly tracker thing again, I'm just updating it. And you may see me update like the day before or, the same day only. It's because if I do something after I have filmed this, I want to make sure that I'm still capturing that data for myself. But these days I actually was doing really good with like my reading, my vegetables, and my fruit intake, which was some of my goals for this week, and I was really happy I could continue to record that. Moving on into the workout tracker, this is when I decided to update from Monday. So we have been moving technically. My mom is moving houses, so I've been helping her move all of her furniture and belongings, and as a result of that, I have been gifted several things that she is destashing in a way, and therefore it is coming to my house where I have to kind of rearrange furniture and move stuff around so that we can have a better flowing kind of area, which is why I actually am in a different space filming. So I actually have my own little space now versus filming in my kitchen, which is really nice. But the rest of the book, again, I didn't have anything to update. Still haven't watched any shows this week or started a new book. Moving on into Wednesday, this was when my Hobonichi delivery came, and I was so excited. I was just so excited. Luckily, I had done pretty much all of my tasks for the day before the box arrived, because as you probably experience yourself, when you know something exciting is coming, you can't focus on anything else until that option or box or whatever it is gets there. And that's exactly what happened to me. I had analysis paralysis. I couldn't focus on anything until the box arrived. But luckily, I had plenty of things to keep myself busy with, so I just kept my hands busy and waited for FedEx to deliver the package. And as a result, I moved a lot of things around in the house. For meals on Wednesday, we ended up having sesame chicken, sesame tofu. So I actually make this from scratch. I usually make it as sesame chicken, but we had some leftover tofu in the fridge that we needed to eat up, and it turned out really, really good. And it's really simple to make sesame chicken, actually. It's just soy sauce, maple syrup, a little bit of sesame oil, sriracha, and garlic and ginger paste, and you just kind of mix it all together after you've like pan fried some chicken or tofu in this case. It's really simple and it comes together super fast. I usually serve it over rice with some vegetables like snap peas or broccoli, and it's a banger every time. I also updated my routine and fasting tracker as per usual when I update my meals. Moving on into the monthly tracking section, again, I'm updating my sleep, mood, and stress, any kind of menstrual cycle notes or daily health notes, and then also my habits/food groups that I like to track. Again, staying very consistent with my vegetables and fruits, which is definitely something I was really proud of this week. I would definitely suggest, if you struggle with eating fruit, get frozen fruit and just make smoothies with it or throw it in some yogurt, and it's super easy to get your fruit in that way. Moving on into the workout section, I definitely wanted to update that I did move some more boxes around and kind of finished out my little craft space on this day. I wanted to make sure I was ready to film my Hobonichi unboxing before it got there, so having everything ready to go was really, really handy. And then the remaining sections of the book, being the running, shows and movies, and then reading, again, go unchanged because nothing in that category has changed. On Thursday, I, as you can see, got my lamp into my little area, so I have a different kind of angle of the camera. I ended up not moving anything this day and not really working out at all because I was just so tired from moving boxes for the past 3 days. So we just kind of took a break from that. As for meals, I ended up eating a turkey sandwich on this day, and I don't really remember what else. It was a pretty chill day in terms of cooking. I didn't make a whole lot of food. I go in spurts where I cook a lot of food and then I cook like no food, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that because cooking every single day can get pretty tedious, even for those of us who actually do like to cook our own meals. When I updated the check-in section here, I definitely wanted to make sure that I was recording that I was still being productive, but it was just a calmer day. Same with the days from before. I usually write down if I was productive or not, if it was a good day, bad day, anything like that. It's just kind of a synopsis of what I am feeling. When I went to update the routine tracker, I actually had nothing to dot, which was kind of sad, honestly. But I definitely could go back and do some reading later in the day, but I don't think I did. And it's okay if I didn't have anything to update on that day because it was just a more relaxing day after doing a lot of movement for a few days and also just being overly excited for my Hobonichi delivery from the day before. When I went to update my monthly tracker, I actually made a mistake. So I connected the wrong lines and I literally was like, oh no, why did I do this? So I just put a little X there and fixed my mistake, but I just wanted to show you guys that it is totally okay to have mistakes in your planners. It is your book. You can do whatever you want in it, and whenever you look back at it, it's totally up to you what you want to see. I will say with the Hobonichi Weeks, which is the book I am using here, it does have cream paper, so if you wanted to use something like whiteout, it's not going to be the best unless you find a cream colored whiteout. Again, I don't mind looking at the mistakes. I actually find them quite funny and entertaining to look back on, but if you wanted something to be corrected like that, just make sure you're matching your tape to your paper, otherwise it might look a little funny. For the remaining sections, again, I didn't really have anything to update because it was just a really chill day, so Thursday was honestly pretty short. Friday was another really chill day. I didn't really have anything to update in the front pages again because I didn't really move a whole lot. Moving furniture really takes it out of you in terms of exercise, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that case. I did end up doing a small 10-minute meditation session on Friday, which was really nice. Usually for that, I just sit in a quiet space. I even put headphones on sometimes and just listen to meditative music. And it's just a good way to kind of sit in silence and reflect on yourself. I highly recommend meditation. I know it's kind of that, I don't know, thing that people do that it's really elusive, like, well, how do you do it? And I think meditation is different for everybody. So if you want to start meditating, I recommend just sitting down for 5 minutes, put a timer on your phone if you need to, and just sit in silence. You know, concentrate on your breathing, listen to some music. It's just a time to be quiet away from the busyness, which is all the point is, just calm yourself down and kind of bring in that inner sense of peace. I did end up getting to read my book on Friday, but I didn't end up dotting on my routine section because it was after I had already recorded this clip. I am currently reading Dragonfly and Amber by Diana Gabaldon, which is a continuation of the Outlander series. And I must say, the first book, so good. Second book, I'm struggling. I also ended up going to the post office because I had a delivery on Friday, which was really nice. And then updating my fasting times, I was really off, honestly, this week in terms of fasting. I didn't do my best. And then on Saturday, I was supposed to do a 24-hour fast. And spoiler alert, that didn't happen. When I moved into my monthly tracking habit pages, I again just updated my sleep, mood, and stress. As you can probably see, this is a very repetitive process, and it really only takes me like 5-10 minutes a day. So if you wanted to kind of track your data this way, do it at the end of the day. You could do it the morning, like the next morning, and track it that way. It's just a really fun way to kind of look at yourself on a very like analytical standpoint, I guess. But again, I was very good with my fruit and vegetables this week, which was one of my top goals, and I was very happy to see that I was able to achieve that, and so easily too. Finally, when moving on into the back pages, I actually had something to update. So I didn't do any workouts or runs again, but I did end up watching a movie. So YouTube has these movies sometimes that you can watch for free with ads, and this was one of those movies. And usually I just put it on in the background while I work on designing or any kind of task that I have going on. And the movie I ended up watching was A Cinderella Story with Hilary Duff. And this is a movie from my childhood that I absolutely love, and I don't know, watching the, I guess, high school romance between the two of them was really entertaining. But that is all for this week, and I will see you back in the real time. All right, I really hope you enjoyed a week in my health planner with me. I truly enjoy making these videos as kind of like a little glimpse into my day-to-day routine with each one of my planners. I have done this before with my Hobonichi cousin as like a week in my cousin. I will try to link that up in the cards for you guys if you're interested in watching that one. I want to thank you guys so much for watching and for all the love you've been giving my Hobonichi videos recently, and I hope to make more of these. These are really fun for me, so I will see you in the next one.